Alright, welcome back to another Alpha X replay cast. Without further ado, let's get started with our first player here on the top left. He's the red Protoss player playing for the team of Afrika Freaks. Give it up for Trap.
And in the bottom right, playing for Team Exxon, it's Special. Alright, so this map, Romanticide, which race do you think it favors in this matchup, Snoopy? Because while it's a big map and normally that favors Protoss, it feels like this map in a lot of pro PvP matchups, the Terran's able to do a lot of drops, do multi-prong attacks, and really harass the Protoss to no end, and get inch ahead bit by bit. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not a bad map for Terran, I would say. Like you mentioned, the drop plays is prevalent in this map, especially since the main base is actually quite large. So there's a lot of dark areas in which the Terran player can kind of do like a 4 Hellion drop or something. You drop into the dark area and then you just go into the probe line. But also there are some nooks and crannies and layout of the terrain where it kind of does also help out the Terran player. Kind of being like in the triangular base, there's like a third mineral patch connected to the possible fourth base. Tanks can siege up behind the mineral line, and then the charge light can't really get on top of them. So yeah, there's a lot of layout throughout the map that does help help Terran play throughout a game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Special here has gone a bit off standard, opening 2 racks and starting off with 2 Reapers. This is definitely not something you see in this matchup very often.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Special is one of those players, or one of the very few players that actually go for this. I haven't really seen a lot of Terran open up with a 2 racks Reaper against Protoss, at least not in their main base. Usually they would try to proxy it, but Special, one of those players that actually builds it at home and try to hide it.
Special is actually a player who tries to copy TY's build, but I don't think I've seen TY do this. Maybe I'm mistaken, but at least I don't think so. Meanwhile, he's expanding behind this and taking his second guess. Is Special.
Oh, that probe did not scout the Natural's timing, so he's not going to be aware of any shenanigans happening. He's going to be in the dark for the time being, and this Adept that's moving across the map will have the first glance at the Reapers. Oh, unless they actually bypass them.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So this 3 Reaper hit squad, let's see what it can get done. Although I think because it's not proxy, the barracks is hitting a bit late, I would say. 1 Stalker, 1 Adept, I think could be able to handle this with some micro.
Yeah, it looks like Trap will have enough, especially since Special did attack through the natural here.
Yep, this is not a fight we see very often. 3 Reapers versus 1 Adept and Stalker.
And so far, Trap really hasn't taken any damage from these 3 Reapers. So I say on paper, at the very least, Trap is ahead, or at least a little bit favored, through this opening here.
For sure. He's opted for a Twilight Council opening with Bling as the preferred upgrade. That's the most common upgrade if you open Twilight Council in this matchup. Although he's only going for 2 gates, so maybe he's trying to be a bit greedy here. 2 gate into Robo expand is something we've seen some Protosses do every now and then. I think Australia used to love this build. He likes being greedy, so if he can get away with just 2 gates rather than 3, he'll go for it.
Yeah, I feel like Trap should have gone for a 4-gate blink timing, especially since he scouted the 3 Reapers. He's know that Trap's Special's tech is going to be slowed down, so there's not going to be as quick as many tanks out there on the field, and so I would actually like it or love it if Trap can just go for a kind of an aggressive push while expanding behind it as well.
Yeah, but I don't think you can be aggressive with 2 gates. So he's putting 1 more down. I don't know whether he forgot, because this is a bit odd. He went 2 gate, but he went 4 gases, Because normally when I see something like this, it's usually 3 gates into Colossus, right? So, and here his Robo Bay is a bit later than usual, maybe.
Well, I mean, he knows that there's really not going to be any significant aggression coming from special, so he can kind of get away with 2 gates. He doesn't really need a lot of units to defend.
Yep.
And so, yeah, he's going to skip the third gateway, get the faster not command center, the faster nexus, third nexus, while teching to Colossus with those 4 assimilators mining.
Yep. Meanwhile, Blinking by Trap into Special's main. Got a little bit of damage. Forced, the Raven to put down one auto turret.
Oh, actually did get the Observer, so that's a nice pick off there.
Yep. Pesky observers. That Terran.
Oh, there's another one, looks like, here at the natural, and there's actually no tanks here to defend. A tank will finally siege up. By that time, Trap will go ahead and blink away into the safety.
Yep, 4 Stalkers do one-shot an SCV, so he got away with, killing 2 SCVs there for just some shield damage, I think. Maybe a little bit of hull, but mainly shield.
Alright, looks like Trap doing a nice job dwindling the numbers here of the Marines. Of course, those Marines are stimless, as Special did invest some of those gas early on to those Reapers instead of getting faster stim or a quicker factory. So going to be a little bit behind, but in the meantime, he does at least have the tanks to establish and stabilize his third base here.
He definitely need the tanks to to defend himself, because Stim is not even halfway done with his his opener that he chose.
Yep. Oh, looks like he's going to go and bypass the entire siege line right into the main base, and actually just getting some nice damage done. And I'm not quite sure why he recalled. I mean, I'm sure he could have gotten some additional SCVs. Maybe he kind of anticipated that Special's army is across the map or something.
Better be safe than sorry. I mean, he's ahead, right? So no need to take so many risky plays.
Yeah, and you know what? He doesn't have the Observer there to scout the move out, so that's probably why he's kind of being a little bit cautious. He doesn't know the Terran is moving out or not. Unfortunately for him, Special was at home. Just had a late reinforcement to the main. And so... But either way, Trap did get some nice economic damage done. And he's going to go ahead and start expanding behind this, getting that 4th base done. He's got the economy rolling. So far, the economy advantage pretty even or so. So as you can see in the worker count, kind of reflects that as well.
Yep. He's got 2 Colossus out. One more on the way. That brings it up to 3, and I think 3 is basically the magic number most Protosses go for when they're building Colossus in this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, around 3 or so for Terran, maybe 4 for Zerg players, and then for against Protoss, depending on their army composition, maybe like around 5 or so.
Yep, 1-1 on the way as well for Trap. He's looking in good position. Sometimes in this matchup these days you can't really go for double forge openings. I miss whether he put them both at the same time, but it looks like it because they're finishing up at the same time. So got away with being a bit greedy here.
Yep, looks like again this is a nice layout here for those siege tanks behind these rock areas. Now keep in mind there is a charge force down on the bottom about to hit the third base of Terran. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at that, but yeah, so far Special concentrating and focusing on the attack at the 4th base of the Protoss.
Yep. Of course, with the Raven, he does have a couple of interference matrices as well. The Colossus do decide to engage, so that's what's probably holding Trap back a bit. He just wants to be a bit cautious.
Oh, some nice anti-armor missile going down on the Colossus force, right stab in the middle there. And a lot of these Colossus going to have to go and retreat to safety for the time being.
Yep, especially with Vikings on the hunt for them. Special took this fight well, with good positioning, covered by tanks behind. But let's see whether he's able to take out Trap's fourth. That would be, the minimum that he wants, for this kind of big attack. Looks like he will.
All these Stalker forces has pretty much been decimated, so this Colossus trying to flee to safety is just not quite there. Will go down, and so far this attack going pretty well for special. Now keep in mind though, Trap got another base at the 9 o'clock or so. Even though he suffered a third base loss, he's still not not third base, a fourth base loss. He still has another base behind us.
Yeah. Yeah, all things, considered, I think he can be happy with this position that he's got for himself.
Now he did take a little bit of an inefficient trade there in the beginning, or in the last big attack. So, but if he can start kind of replenishing those Colossus, get some additional disruptors, because remember he only had like one or so disruptor during the entire fight. If he can kind of increase that to maybe a little bit more than that, a good couple amount of disruptors added into the army, he might be able to kind of dig himself out of this little hole that he's in.
Yep. He's also readying some small zealot run by, in the bottom left of the map. You always want to backstab the Terran when they move out with some zealots if possible.
Oh, so that DT doing a lovely scout on the medevac, but just not quite there. The Stalkers are just a bit late. This Pylon, though, will finally scout the drop, but in the meantime, he's going to have to concentrate at the fight in the front of the Natural. And I don't think...
Meanwhile, drop special, going into Trap's main. Oh, looks like scouted by Trap, mopped in 4 Stalkers. Should be enough to deal with it before they unload. Nicely done there.
So nice little pick off there for Trap. Now he's going to go ahead and start remaking that base finally.
Yep. So we're going to a bit of a longer macro game, I think. Trap's gone up to 5 bases, special with 4. We might be in here longer than a lot of PvT matchups that we've seen.
Yeah, something about this map kind of tends to cater towards macro games. Yeah. And so I'm not surprised that this game has extended for this long. It did look scary in the mid game there when Special went for that big attack, but Trap able to clean that up, and so far he's trying to rebuild back his army composition to one that is to be feared against.
Yep. I wonder why he's not building any Archons, Trap. Because that's normally what you want as a meat shield in front of the Colossus.
Yeah.
He's got a DT, so he could use that, even though he doesn't have a Templar archives.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
a good point.
Something different this game.
I think because he actually invested some of the gas into the Dark Shrine, and so a lot of his gas has been spent on the DTs instead of High Templars. But he can morph those DTs into Archons and bypass the Templar archive. I mean, he's a lot of his gas also invested in those disruptors and Colossus, so might as well go for the DT into the Archons instead of High Templars into Archons.
Meanwhile, he's got a Stargate just finished up as well. Definitely looking to enter the late game, his Trap.
Yeah, I mean, he just finished DT Blink as well, so I mean, we know how good they are in the late game, especially since, in the later game, in the later stages, Terran tends to go morph their command center into planetary, so if you can kind of blink those DTs on top of those planetary, they can lift it up, and they kind of, they got to respond very quickly.
Yeah. Just a couple of swipes and planetary fortresses just go poof.
Poof indeed.
Oh, nice disruptive shot there, even though it, it killed 2 ghosts, took a lot of health out of 2 tanks, so I guess it's not the worst trade.
Oh, Trap setting up a kind of a backdoor stab here with those Dark Templars, and actually a lot of these tanks are absolutely
really exposed.
Yeah. Oh man, this can actually be really great for... Oh, actually, you know what? The tanks does move.
Meanwhile, Special trying to siege up towards Trap's 4th base again. The one that he took down earlier and Trap rebuilt. Oh, this is really hard for Trap to engage because of the tank line.
Oh yeah, and look at that concave there. So good, the force Special. And now Trap is down to only 1 Colossus. There are going to be 2 disruptors to join up in this engagement. But can it get enough damage before it explodes? Nope. One of the disruptors get knocked out. The other one gets sniped down as well. And so far, Special gains the momentum here.
Looking really good. If he can take out Trap's 4th and 5th bases, he's definitely in pole position.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to outright win this. He just kind of kill those Nexuses and just get out of there.
Yep, doing some fancy tank micro just because they're all on no health.
Yeah, there's just not anything here to defend this 4th base. And the 5th base will go ahead and get sniped down. Some more reinforcements for one last stand, but I just don't see him holding on to this.
Nope. Because the DTs are chasing away Special's forces while he aims to regroup, because you need most of your you want most of your army if you're gonna attack Protoss head on. Oh, look at those DTs doing a lot of damage, and the big disruptor shot as well.
But there's just more reinforcement streaming across the map here for the blue Terran. And there's only a limited amount of disruptors that's left here for Trap. But at the very least, again, Special does not need to outright win this fight. But he has done enough damage. All he needs to do is just kind of stay back, regroup, build some more army, and then, of course, expand as he is doing to the 2 or 3 o'clock position. And then just go for the finishing blow once he feels confident enough.
Yep. Trap barely hanging on for dear life there. Well, Specialist, of course, still in a prime position to take this game. 60 supply ahead.
Now, do you see any way that Trap can kind of come back from this? I mean, he's in a big hole, but I think he can pull off a miracle here.
It looks really tough because, if he had more AoE units like more Colossi and even Storm, I would say maybe he has a chance, but just a couple of disruptors defending this top base, it's gonna make it a real challenge.
Yeah.
He also does not have enough, the units to defend, let's say, a multi-pronged aggression, although Special is opting to gather his whole army in the middle of the map, going to, try to take down the 5th base, as he was unsuccessful in his previous attempt.
Oh man, these band of DTs are gonna go in and try to take out this entire army, but the scan will go down. That forces all the DTs to dig their early grave here. Recall is being forced, as this is pretty much one of the last remaining mining bases of Trap. It's still the 12 o'clock one, but this one still has a lot of minerals left.
Yep. It's going to be hard for Trap to defend these 2 bases. One in the 12 o'clock, one in the sort of 9 o'clock position. Okay, if Special actually slowly, sieges these tanks one by one to Trap's base, it's going to be a really hard hole for Trap. Nice disruptor shot, got a few units there, I think.
Oh, but is it enough? I don't think so. Oh, some of the rally of these disruptors get taken out. Unfortunate for a Trap. And this might be it here. Special enjoying an overall, basically twice the amount of supply. And GG, there it is. Special will take a game number 1 of this best of 3 series. Alright, welcome back here to game number 2. The first player at the top left corner of the map, he is the red Protoss, playing for our Freaker Freaks. Down 0-1, looking to tie up the score. Can he do it? It is Trap.
And in the bottom right corner of the map, spawning as a blue Terran, it's Special.
Alright, right, so I forgot to mention in the first game that this is, of course, if you haven't been spoiled by the title yet, it is the ESL Open Cup number 65. It's going to be the Korea region, and this the quarterfinals. So whoever wins the series will advance to the semifinals.
Yeah. Also, you definitely want to make it to the semifinals because that guarantees you $50. It's not too shabby.
Mm-hmm. So if you
have a nice meal for $50.
I'm just wondering, if you won $50, what would you spend that $50 on?
Oh, you mean for food? Yeah, I'll probably get maybe a nice bowl of chirashi don.
Oh, never heard of that, but it does sound delicious.
Meanwhile, Special proxying his barracks, scouted by Trap though, so he knows it's not gonna be some funny plays, just a fake proxy.
Yeah, I mean, for me though, whenever I see no barracks in the ramp area, my heart beats a little bit faster. And
it's always annoying, because it can be so many different possibilities when something like that happens. Although if you see a factory being put down, then you know that it's not going to be. It's less likely to be a one base all in, which I guess you face often enough in ladder. 1-1-1 all in with all production facilities proxied near your base.
Yeah, although he does got the 2 gases, so that already tells him as well that this is not going to be like a really committed all in. Not going to at the very least be a 4x Marine push or something like that. But anyhow, the first Reaper will make its way into the Protoss side. Doesn't really get too much scouting done. Just sees a normal opening.
Yep. Oh, Trap opting for a Stargate opener this time. That's why he went to Adepts. We need to save up a bit more gas for Stargate play. Trap getting off a nice scout that Special did indeed put down his natural after going factory.
Alright, this Adept will give chase, but the Hellion has come out. Will force the Adept to retreat back home.
Yep. Meanwhile, it's no, actually, it was just waiting for his friend to come. So 2 of them now they do a bit more damage. If they manage to get the SCV, there'll be a nice delay. But he's opting to get the Hellion instead, and he does.
Oh, actually, this is some nice damage here. Now, mind you, Trap is going for some air. Now, did he make the Oracle? I think he could have actually gone a lot of SCVs done if he opened up with the Oracle, but actually has prompted to go for Phoenix instead.
Yep. I think that's more common these days, going for Phoenix play after Stargate. Phoenix Colossus is something I see quite often.
Oh, but could you imagine if the Oracle came in here right now? I mean, I think Special will probably GG out. Special notorious for...
a lot of nice damage already.
Oh, yeah. Alright, looks like Trap hasn't quite revealed his hand yet with those Phoenixes. Alright, Phoenix does finally get scouted here by Special. Now, does he still elect to go for that Cloak Banshee play? I would imagine that he would just probably cancel Cloak here. Maybe?
Yeah, well, Trap is, getting prepared for it because he's put down a Robo just after putting down 2 gates so he can get, an earlier observer out than usual with Stargate play.
Yeah, you do see here the Cloak upgrade has been cancelled once the Phoenixes has scouted it, so nice call there by Special. He's not going to get too much damage done, especially with the observers.
No. Man, I tell you, Cyclone's range are really long.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So meanwhile, 5 minutes, 20 seconds into the game, Trap got himself a nice little worker lead 15 up. Being 47 workers compared to Specials 33. That was a result of his nice early game harass with his adepts.
Yeah, he has himself in a pretty decent position. I mean, so far I would say it's kind of Trap's games to lose. He did so much damage in the early game, and it's kind of putting, especially on the back foot, for quite a little while. Oh, actually does lose his Phoenix there, unfortunately.
At least he managed to snipe a Banshee. Oh, Special, I think, getting a bit desperate now. Pulling some SCVs and going for Marine Tank push. He knows he's behind. He's got to, do either major damage to Trap or kill him outright. Otherwise, he's not gonna he's not gonna have fun if he tries to play out a macro game.
Yeah, I mean, we do see one shield battery here for Trap. You might want to go ahead and throw down a bit more, but I mean, you never know how many more SCVs that the Terran player is pulling.
Yeah. He can't afford to be defensive here. Specials hasn't taken effort yet, and he knows it with Phoenix. He just has to hold, basically. Yeah, especially since Specials pulling SCVs as well. And no, so he lost some SCVs for free there. It's a bad rally.
Special is going to go ahead and kind of fortify his contain with these bunkers. I just don't see these bunkers going up with the range of the Colossus. Those Colossus have thermal lance upgrade on them.
Yep. Shield battery behind them, helping them regenerate their shields, of course.
So right now, Trap is kind of buying himself some time to get that additional Colossus out. Oh, actually, as I say that, thermal lance actually didn't quite finish yet. Huh. Anyhow, that shield battery has run out of energy, so all he has right now left is the shield battery overcharge. He is trying to make another one, but might get sniped down here. Ooh, this is going to be close.
Yep, this is looking a bit dangerous for Trap now. The Special inching forward slowly, bit by bit, especially with bunkers covering his tanks. Looks like Trap is trying to go force around here. He set up a nice little force behind Special's position.
Man, what seemed like a pretty okay, decent hold of defense now seemingly looks way more tougher with all these bunkers and turrets that's coming up here.
Yeah,
man, this is quite dicey.
I'm not sure what Trap is doing with his, ragtag force of one Immortal, 5 Stalkers, and 1 Colossus, right in the middle of the map, just preventing reinforcements, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much the idea of it, the thought behind it. And again, he's trying to get that third Colossus out, but look at that, he's like 99% done. Has to wait for the pylon to finish. Those 2 shield batteries at the front is actually unpowered as well. He might want to build down another pylon, but the tank has.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what Trap's waiting for. I think if he sandwiches Special's army now, he should be able to break it.
Yeah, he has.
Meanwhile, Special is doing a lot of damage. While Trap, is being overly patient. He's setting up for a 3-prong flank. Zealots on the left, Colossus Stalker on the bottom, and of course a lot of Zealots, Phoenix and Colossus closing in now. Slightly mistimed 3-prong attack, but looks like it's getting the job done.
Yeah, those charges are adding so much firepower on the front lines, and again, a beautiful 360 surround there by Trap manages to clean up the rest of Special Forces.
Yep. Special just finishing his third base now. Okay. GG is called. He knows it's over.
Yeah.
Ties up the series 1-1 in this best of 3 round of 8.
All right, we're here for game number 3, the final game of this best of 3 series. Starting off here at the top right, we have playing for Afrika Freaks, hailing from Korea. Give it up for Trap.
Spawning in the bottom left, having taken a 1-0 lead, earlier this series, he's still looking to close it out. It's the Mexican Terran. It's Special. Now you say that this is the final game of this, best of three, which of course makes sense. But once in a while, you do get draws, and then, of course, then you look a bit stupid. If we go into game 4, because
Well,
that actually happens really, really infrequently.
yeah, not a lot of times you do see draws.
I don't think I've seen more than 10 draws, to be honest. Like in having watched years of Pro StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I think maybe around 10 or so I've seen as well, or a little less than that. Who knows? It's hard to remember back all the way to 11 or so years ago.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely it's a rare occasion.
right. So it looks like both players going standard this time. No funny plays by Special. He built his barracks in his main, and there's only one barracks this time, not two. Although he is opting for Marine first opening, saving himself just a little bit of gas so that he can presumably get his factory down a bit sooner, and get some get Hellions or Widow Mines out sooner than usual.
Well, at the very least, I would like to see Special kind of cut his Reaper production down to at least one, because the previous game, in the first game, he made 3, and it didn't even do anything really much. And then the second game, he made 2 Reapers. That didn't also get anything done. Maybe
Yep.
he should try to kind of settle at 1 Reaper, and then kind of invest all the remaining gases into a faster, quicker factory or starport or whatever tech path that he wants to go for, because the Reapers just hasn't quite done too much throughout the series.
Yep. Trap opting for the Stargate play again. Maybe he feels like the second game, this strategy brought him a lot of success. So why not go for it again? Special didn't have a good handle on it the last game.
Alright, Reaper will go ahead and start getting greedy here by this Adept. On this other side though, Bunker has finished, but trapping a little bit ballsy here. We'll go ahead and dive right on deep. Does nicely take out one of the SCVs, so a little win there.
Well, Special did manage to finish his command center. It's always a bit annoying when an Adept, delays the building of your command center by just like 1 or 2%.
Oh yeah, that is so annoying.
Well, lucky we don't play Terran, do we, Snoopy?
Or do we?
No, to Adept shading into the base. Getting some nice damage here. 1 Marine is going down, 1 SCV building the starport also. When down, that means any air unit will be delayed. See, again, Trap is getting quite a bit of harassment done with his early Adept plays. Of course, not as much as the previous game, but still delaying Special a little bit.
Yeah, as much as you can delay the Terran player in the early game, it's always a good thing. Especially since sometimes they kind of forget to remake the SCVs, and so a little bit of harassment can kind of lead a downward spiral for the Terran, where he's down by, let's say, what would normally be 5 workers down, might be extended to 10 workers down.
Yeah. Well, Special is opting for 2 Cyclones here. Maybe Cyclone and Vikings are his units of choice to deal with Phoenix play.
Yep, there's a good combination. Cyclones and Vikings there. Anti-air, Marines as well to go along with it.
Yep.
Now look
for double gas in his main before any break. I wonder whether he's going for mech here. What do you think, Snoopy?
I don't think so. I mean, he's making those Marines. I mean, if he were to go mech, maybe he can open some few Marines here and there, but it looks like he's added, reactor. And there's also no second factory on the way, no armory as well. So that kind of tells me not quite going to the mech pad.
Yep. Okay. Meanwhile, Trap, having got his robo bay after building only 2 Stargates as he did in his in the previous game, RoboBay just finished as well, which enables him to start building a Colossus.
Oh my! I might have spoken too early. Looks like Special actually doing a late game, or not late game, but a little bit of a delayed transitions into a full-on mech. So looks like you're gonna have your wish here. Actually, adding a fourth.
I'm not sure this
factory
was my wish, but it's what I thought was going on, because otherwise, why do you need 4 gases so early?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Who knows? Like, I don't really understand Terran builds, but that's what I thought. So, meanwhile, it's a ragtag force of 3 Cyclone, 3 Vikings, able to keep Trap's Phoenixes at bay. So Trap does not have that, big worker lead that he did in the previous game. 48 probes to specials, 47 SCVs. Looks like we're in more of an even game this time round.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just really interested to see how this mech play does against Trap, because we don't usually see mech play work out for Terran. There's a reason why we don't see a lot of Terrans go for it. In addition to, they're slower. They're kind of a slow, low APM type of army composition, and I think most Terrans likes to be more mobile with those bio forces, or at least a marine plus those tanks. So yeah, a lot of Terran players prefer the faster, mobile type of army composition.
You know what? Gumiho is actually back in 2 months, so maybe we'll see more mech play then.
Ah, nice. That's good to hear. Oh, I love what Trap is doing here. Kind of opening up the rocks. You want to, against a Terran player that's going for a lot of tanks, you want to open up these surface areas to get those charge line and those mortars on top of the tank line.
Yep. Special now moving out with his force of 4 tanks, a couple of Cyclones, Hellions, and Vikings. Although I'm not sure how well he's going to do against Trap's force. It looks like he's pushing it back, so not too bad, I would say.
Oh yeah, the missing charge upgrade. That might be the thing that kind of favors Special here with his mech play, because with that many tanks, charge lot is what you really want. Now he just started. He might have, I don't know if he might have just kind of forgotten.
He might have forgotten it, because charge is definitely an upgrade you want in the Phoenix Colossus style. You actually go for a charge before blink, don't you? So he's gonna have to use slow zealots meanwhile, because at least they still provide some sort of some sort of threat to the tanks.
Yeah, I just have a feeling maybe Trap just forgot about it or something, because
yeah, I think he did. Even pro players make mistakes, guys. But it looks like this mistake is not really going to punish him, as the Phoenix lift up all the tanks, and Trap is able to clean out Special's mech army.
Yeah, mech is just quite difficult to kind of pull off there. Unfortunate, and Trap will take the 2-1 victory.